process. Hey, Crystal. Luke.
Hi.
Good to see you guys again.
Kevin, what's happening?
Oh boy, this is a big difference from the last time we were here.
Yes, it is.
Does this feel good?
It feels amazing. It looks like a magazine, and I don't even want to touch half of it.
Well, you're gonna have to touch it because you guys got to get this place moved in. So
I know.
You had kind of told us what you'd wanted, you know.
Yep.
Did you get what you want?
Oh yeah, except for the big man recliner.
I'm sure the big man recliner's coming, right?
Yeah, it's coming.
That's
Oh,
good.
We had to see it in the room first,
Yeah.
and then we'll get it.
Well, the kitchen, so obviously we're gonna be able to have a party in the kitchen and all the folks can gather out here. You wanted that, right?
Yes.
So you've got some more moving in to do. Any other work that we can help you with?
Hanging shelves.
Hanging shelves.
Hanging shelves.
On the wall.
All right.
So we'll take this center line.
So we got a two-part system, right? So you got a
Yeah.
shelf and a cleat behind it. All right, well, let's locate them on the wall. Let's figure out where these things are going.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
There you go.
Looks great.
All right, so how long until you guys get in? Do you have your CO yet?
Yes.
You do?
We got it yesterday.
That's good.
Did get it yesterday.
What's gonna get you in here? What's left?
The power's going out at 2 o'clock today, so we'll be in the trailer till Friday.
All right, but then out of the trailer, and I can see that smile, right?
Yes.
That'll be
And
good.
then we'll get to spend the night here, hopefully Friday night.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's get back to work. What else is left?
We have towel racks in the bathroom, lots of them.
Let's go, look. "50-mile-an-hour winds pushed the campfire through Paradise in a very short period of time. And in a lot of disasters like these, the fire is moving so quickly that the homes can actually survive the radiant heat. But as we said, it's the embers that homeowners have to worry about. Well, there is a research lab down in South Carolina that is doing work on how to protect homes from those flying embers. This is the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, IBHS. I'm meeting Roy White. He runs the institute, but his interest in Paradise is more than just business. His parents and brother lived there.
We are in the big test chamber standing here, where we do everything from hurricanes up to Cat 3 and 4 to wildfire. Everything here is done at full size. None of this miniature stuff for us here.
So, particularly in this case, the Paradise situation is personal for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I woke up to a text that my mom sent, 3:30 Pacific time. It said, "Our house is gone. Where do I start?" It's one of the most searing things I've ever seen on a phone. And in that moment, every one of those conversations I had had with survivors who had experienced this loss played out in rapid succession.
Today, the lab is testing roof materials that could help as Paradise rebuilds. All right, so Dana, tell us what we're going to be testing today.
So today we're going to look at one of the really critical building components, the roof. So we're going to do a standard test to look at how that roof covering performs. Imagine debris, embers, and falling branches landing on there. We want to see if it burns through to the backside inside of your attic. And what we're looking at here is just kind of the process. We're doing a little bit more kind of on the research side of things. We're taking some advanced measurements and we're trying to, better understand the process there. And again, we're just really looking at the roof material and the component and as it kind of ties into the entire house.
Wow, you can really see the effect that just a 12-mile-an-hour wind has on that fire.
Yeah, it does. So it's adding all the oxygen it needs for that fuel and that heat, getting a nice combustion reaction.
What's critical here, though, is it's a race against time, right? Because this will burn itself out. So if this surface can last long enough, it's okay to have a fire, it just won't get through.
That's right. It's the idea of resistance, is where the fuel on top doesn't burn long or hot enough to burn through and into the building.
So the real critical proof is right here on the underside, what is effectively our attic.
Exactly.
And you even mentioned that there's a weak spot because there's a seam on the plywood.
Right.
And right now, good news so far.
So we're seeing the asphalt and those shingles right there starting to melt and break down. But we know underneath we have the felt layer and the sheathing plywood. So what we're hoping is that this burning crib on the top isn't enough to start to burn on the inside.
All right, we passed, but what did we learn?
So we learned that wildland fires are going to happen, And embers are going to land on the roof, but with a Class A roof covering like this, it's going to perform well and prevent that fire from outside getting inside your attic.
And for us and for everybody in Paradise, the other lesson is that if you're going to rebuild properly to give yourself the best chance to keep the house alive.
Best chance.
Daniel, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Back here in Paradise, we're at Jose and Anna's house, and things are really moving along. The framing's done, they put the trim up around the edge for the gutters, and they're starting the roof, the windows are in, and maybe some siding later on. But now it's time to do the roof, and these are the shingles that Jose and Anna picked. It's called an architectural shingle, and Bailey's shadow lines are the shingle, unlike a 3-tab shingle that has slots in them. They're going to go up on the roof, and they're going to be staggered. Now these are fire rated, which means they meet the building code that will give enough time for the owners to get out of the house should a fire happen. They also have a solar reflector in them that lowers the temperature inside the house, inside the attic. Those hot sunny days lessens the chance of the temperature rising in the attic. It all starts with a starter strip that goes across the bottom edge of the shingle, and this manufacturer has one all cut for you. And this will go along the edge of the roof, starting like that, and you want to overhang it from a drip edge or the edge of the roof like 3/8 to a ½ an inch. Put them on there like that. And if you notice this shiny little piece right here, well, that's an adhesive that is actually activated from the hot sun. These we'd put down and they would get nailed right here, about 4 or 5 nails across that. The first shingle that goes on top of the starter shingle, you want to make sure that you overlap that joint right there. I want to overlap this joint by 5 to 6 inches, just like that. That way it won't leak. And we'll do another one here. Keeping it even with the starter strip, overhanging the edge of the roof. A row of nails would go here, 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 and here. The next row of shingles would get set on here, pulling it up, making it even with this edge right here, which gives you about a 5½ inch shingle reveal. And you want to make sure you're 5½ to 6 inches offset like that, so the 2 joints don't line up. The next one that goes beside it covers that joint so it won't leak. Again, your nailing pattern is the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on.
Joe and Avonlea's house is coming along probably within a month or 2 of completion, and the last time we were here, the hearth went in. It was a big piece of granite, and today we've got some more stonework going on. Hey Joe, how you doing?
Hey.
Mark, good to see you.
Good to see you, Kevin.
And good of you to come out to Paradise and lend a hand. So we got the columns in the front, stucco up top, stone on the bottom. What are we working with?
So this is a manufactured stone, simulates real stone. The good thing about this is, in this condition, it's not going to burn, so that's why we wanted to use something in this fashion.
We like that, Joe, right?
Yeah.
We don't want any materials that could catch on fire, and that certainly isn't right there. And it's supposed to simulate the look of what?
Actually, just real stone. I mean, this is a flat stone look,
Yeah.
so it's stackable stone, and that's what the look it gives you.
Okay, Joe, you approve? You like what you see?
I do. I like it a lot. You know, I would have liked to have seen it go up to the top if I could, but
Mud it up, flatten it out, and then we're going to press it into a corner like that. I like to wiggle it into place. That's going to assure my bond. That's it. Press it into those grooves, Joe. Keep it nice and fluffy. So we get a level. Make sure we look good. That looks pretty good.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
nice fit.
Okay, that'll fit in nice. We'll just back butter that and put that in. That's it.
So what are we working with here?
It's just a polymer mortar, which for intent and purpose, it's got glue in it. and that's going to help us stick to our substrate, which is the cement board.
All right.
All right, you're looking like you got plenty there, Joe.
Okay. Just
Now,
slap it on.
Just flop it in and just twist it in a bit. You might have to give a little bang. Oh. All right, so I like that wiggle action, Joe. That's going to give us a great bond. All right, so this is our cap piece. All right, so we're going to cut these pieces to length. All right, so drop that in, Joe. Line her up. Everything looks good. We have our factory edges just the way we wanted. They go
Nice.
all the way around the post.
What do you think?
I think it looks great.
Yeah? All right. Mark, next steps?
Next steps, we got to mortar these down, move over to the next post, and we're done.
Want a mortar? We'll cut.
All right.
All right, let's get going.
Let's go to the saw. No other state produces more food than California. If it were its own country, it'd be the third largest supplier in the world. Now, there was a time when Paradise was known for its fruit trees. Today, it is down to just one apple orchard. And that one almost went up in flames. Lori, Jim, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome to Paradise.
Thank you very much. Or what's left of it. I mean, this
What's
used to
left of
be a hotbed for fruit trees, right?
It was.
Tell me about that business.
Well, there's one rumor, maybe 60 orchards. Some were small, some were large. Ours was at that point where economics of scale allowed it to persist until today.
So you guys were a viable business prior to the fire. As we walked in, we saw the damage that the fire did to this entire surrounding area. And I saw a couple folks, a young family, going around picking apples. Are you in business, out of business? Where do you stand?
Well, so to speak, we're in business, I guess. We are donating apples to the community, whether it's down to Sacramento, up to the Oregon border. We have people coming in and doing U-pick. We made a decision very early on when we came back to the property in June that there were so many apples we needed to give them away. Nothing to pick them into, no way to store them, transport, etc.
Nice.
It's the best for everybody. There have been a lot of little family reunions or familial reunions with people who haven't seen each other in months.
Right.
So it's kind of fun.
People get together. People have helped us a great deal during this ordeal. You know, why not help them also?
Sure. Is there a plan to come back?
Oh yes.
What is it?
Well, we plan to be back in full force by year 100, which is in 2 years.
We hope you come back.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting the story out.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice to meet you both. Good luck.
meet you.
So what did I pick here?
That's a Fuji apple, but this one's going to be even better.
May I?
Have a taste. Yeah.
Perfect. Wow. Apples are small potatoes in California's food industry. Just down the hill from Paradise is the Sacramento Valley, and there you'll find farms that grow everything from watermelon to walnuts. 5 generations of the Sonray family have worked this land in nearby Oroville. Andrew, you are one of them. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What are you growing here?
So we are doing almond trees.
Almonds?
Yeah.
Almonds.
Almonds, yeah.
Wait a second. What do you? Is that a thing?
Only in Northern California.
Okay.
Only if you're an almond grower.
All right. Well, we're in your hometown. So how big is the farm?
So the total farm is roughly 5,000 acres.
Putting out how many almonds a year?
So we do about 1,000 acres of almonds, and that's roughly 2 million pounds of almonds.
Wow. Sounds like a lot to me. Where do they go and who uses them?
They literally go all over the world.
I just picked one of your branches here. I hope that's okay.
No problem.
Can I look at that? Can you tell me, walk me through what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, so this is an almond, and the outer part is the hole here.
So sort of fuzzy.
Yep.
Waste, or does that get used?
That goes a lot, you know, cattle feed as a filler. Yep.
Yeah.
Tool here. So this is the shell. Crack that open with my tool.
Oh yeah.
Skin the almond a little bit, but that's all right. And so then inside,
so now
you
that
have the meat.
I recognize. These are hops, and it's probably one of the smallest crops grown here in this state. only 80 acres of hops are harvested in this giant agribusiness state. But this little crop right here, well, it helped create a brand new industry that got its start just outside of Paradise. Robin, nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having us. We're very pleased that you're right next to where we're working up in Paradise.
Absolutely.
And I have to admit, we've been here a couple times. But why here? How did you guys get started, and why in Chico?
So we've been here in Butte County for 40 years next year. Our founder, when he came to visit, really fell in love with the area. He spent a lot of time hiking and biking up in the Sierra Nevada mountain range and just wanted to plant roots here. There's also great water here, which is a really good thing for making beer.
Really? Good water?
Yeah, good water means
good water
beer.
Mean? Like a taste? Or?
Water's the base of beer. It's the mineral content that's in there. It's the taste of it.
Well, it's working for you. It's delicious. When you say you expanded, how big are you guys?
We are one of the largest craft brewers in the country. We're about number 3, which means about 1 million barrels of beer.
Wow. Cool. All right. Well, can we see some of it made?
Yeah, let's do it. So welcome to our mill room. This is where the brewing process really begins. Over here we have our mill. For each batch of beer, we're going to put about 10,000 pounds of malt into the mash tun over here. And in here, this is where it will blend with hot water to kind of make a barley tea, which is the base of beer. It'll blend in here for a couple of hours. And you want to use different types of malt to make different types of beer. So for instance, here we have a pale malted barley. And this will give you like a pale straw-colored kind of beer.
Kind of nutty. Yep. Doesn't taste like beer yet.
Right. And then over here we have a dark roasted barley. So this is going to give you your porters, your stouts, your really chocolatey espresso flavors.
That's cool. Oh yeah, completely distinctive taste.
So after the mash, we're going to come over here to the lauter tun. And here we're going to separate the solids from the liquids. So all of the liquids are going to drain out and it's going to become what we call sweet wort. And wort is the base of beer. And it doesn't have any alcohol in it. We can taste some over here if you'd like.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Wow, it's like hot tea.
Hot sweet tea.
Hot sweet tea.
Right.
It's actually really good. Get me some of that.
So after the lauter, we come over here to the kettle, and this is where the magic happens. This is where the beer really becomes a beer. So today we're brewing an IPA, and what we're gonna do is the beer's gonna come over, we're gonna bring it up to a boil. That's gonna get off all the impurities and stabilize it. It's also where we're gonna start adding hops.
So this is the first time hops get added to the beer?
Yes, it is. So these are our bittering hops. And this is gonna give our beer, our IPA, that nice bitterness that it's known for. And then later we'll add some additional hops to give it some nice aromas and flavors.
So depending on what you put in terms of hops is going to take that wort, did you call it?
Right, wort.
Wort into the flavor and make it an individual beer.
Exactly. And we've got all kinds of hops that we're using for different beers.
Wow.
And then we've got a lot more where this came from if you want to see it.
I'd love to. And so we saw one of these over by one of the kettles.
Exactly. You can see he's filling this up, getting it ready for a brew.
Doing it by weight. And so what are they? They're flowers?
Right. Right, so hops are flowers, and if you kind of rustle them up in your hands there, get them warm, and then give them a smell, those smells will really come out. And what we're looking for is right in the middle here of these hops, you'll see kind of a yellow powder. Yep. That's called lupulin, and that's where all that bittering magic lives. So Kevin, we're actually celebrating our 40th year in business as a brewery.
Congratulations, that's awesome. We just celebrated a 40th ourselves.
I heard, I think that calls for a drink.
Absolutely, so that puts you guys at the very early stages of the craft brewing movement, right?
That's right. We were one of the very first craft breweries, and we are still 100% family owned and operated, still kicking after all these years.
That is terrific. And what are we trying out here?
This is our Northern Hemisphere harvest beer, and this is something really special. It's a wet hop beer. So this uses the wet hops from the harvest before they're dried to give it a huge hop forward flavor.
Which it does. It really jumps out at you.
All right.
Was I supposed to smell it first? I went right to the drinking. Robin, thank you very much.
In Paradise, 85 people died in the campfire, so the town plans to honor those who went through the tragedy with a memorial called Hope Plaza.
The main elements of the plaza itself is the Hero Plaza, easy to walk into. These are, of course, are those first responders, those heroes that pulled people out of the fire.
Right.
So that's what Hero Plaza will be, and a kind of a gratitude piece, a give back from the community to them.
Right.
And then the other main element is what we're calling the Reflection Sanctuary.
I like that.
And the goal with that is to create that space where you can feel right? You can really be a part of it. And what it is it's on these back walls, there's some large stainless steel trees.
Okay.
They're not gonna burn in the future.
Right.
So on these trees are the names of all the 85 people who were killed in the fire.
Who will be engraved.
Engraved. So you can come up and scratch their names. You see that at other memorials.
Oh, I
so.
love this. I love this.
Okay.
So you want to show us the lay of the land here?
Yeah, let's go walk the property.
All right, great.
All right. Well, we're really kicking it off. We got these guys obviously breaking out some of the old roots that burned down. You can see the char.
Yeah.
We got a jackhammer. We're gonna take this curb out.
Okay.
And then we have a bunch of other volunteers here ready to just clean the site up, get it ready for November 8th. This is the Hero Plaza.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So centered on the Hero Plaza is the basalt columns shooting out of the ground like kryptonite, right? The Superman.
Right.
With this
solid.
Right, with this wonderful obelisk 20 plus feet in the air,
Wow.
polished granite, approximately